Are state bans on transgender health care for children constitutional? Well, tomorrow, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in a case that challenges Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. Paula Reed takes a closer look at the high-profile case.
Last year, Tennessee Republicans voted to make it illegal for transgender youth to be prescribed certain medications or treatments for gender dysphoria.
I couldn't imagine that I would be headed to the Supreme Court.
Elle Williams, a teen identified only as Elle in court documents and speaking to us in shadow, was one of those directly impacted by the law. She and her parents sued Tennessee after the ban disrupted her treatment.
At the start of adolescence, something to you felt like it wasn't quite right. Why was that?
Well, it was because essentially I was born in a male body and I am a woman, and that's incredibly uncomfortable for me.
Her parents, Brian and Samantha, had no idea.
I was surprised, but I was still, like, from the very beginning, supportive. Like, okay, this is what's going on with you. We're there for it.
And debated whether this was all just a phase.
I asked lots of questions, had a lot of pushback, asked probably a lot of the questions that people who are in opposition to this case are probably asking. Is this a phase? What does this mean?
They got her a therapist and eventually started treatments.
It's been very helpful, life-changing even. For some people, it's even been life-saving.
The Tennessee ban forced doctors to stop treating transgender patients like Elle with treatments that included puberty blockers and hormone therapies.
It was just purely political. It was, let's use these poor kids and these families as a pawn. And, we just want to be able to take her to the doctor.
Protect trans kids!
Roughly 24 similar laws have been enacted in recent years in Republican-led states. Now Elle's case, which was joined by 2 other families, is before the U.S. Supreme Court.
When I go before the high court, I'm not going to be thinking about myself as the first transgender lawyer.
Chase Strangio will make history as the first known transgender person to argue before the high court on behalf of teens like Elle. The other side of this case, the state of Tennessee, has gotten support from groups like Do No Harm and Dr. Stanley Goldfarb, who believes this treatment should not be available to minors.
We feel that children just are really unable to do this in a way that involves informed consent primarily, and that many of them are just children that are very troubled.
We pressed him on why patients like Elle claim their lives have benefited from this treatment.
There's a huge placebo effect. Anytime a patient is told, we're going to help you with this medication, you're going to feel better, it's going to be the answer to your problems, there's often an acute response that's positive to it.
But Elle says that explanation belies her experience.
Supporters of this bill say it's too easy. You're saying there's nothing easy about it.
There isn't anything easy about it.
Elle's parents, who have had to travel as far as Ohio to continue her treatment, have not ruled out moving to another state if this case does not go their way.
You have, strong career ties and neighborhood that we love and a house that we love.
Kids have friends.
Kids have friends. I don't want to pull them out of school and go to another state. It's just, I don't know. We shouldn't have to do that.
Depending on the court's ruling, similar laws on gender-affirming care would be at risk of falling altogether or receiving a powerful endorsement from the high court.